Yesodei HaTorah Perek Aleph Halacha Zayin. Eloha ze echad hu. God is one. Ve'einu shnayim. And he's not two, nor v'lo yesal shnayim, not more than two. Let's go down to the Peirush. This is the second of the 13 precepts of the Rambam. Elo echad shenki yechudoi. He is a unique oneness that there is no oneness like him. Echad min achadim hanimtzoim ba'olam. One of the singular items that are found in the world, lo echad kimin shehu koidel hachem harbe. And nor is it something, is Hashem something that is made up of different elements, such as a living person is made up of different elements, as we'll see, and it's not a species that has many different people in it. But a creator is one, that he has no one else like him, and not parts to him. One should not even assume so. Nor is he a body that has different sections to it and parts. That means like the hands, limbs, head, and even things that look to be that they're not made up of different parts, which are the basics from which all of life is created, from fire, wind, water, and dirt. They are within themselves also made up of different parts, and if we'll come to the single element itself, it has width and length. That's also part of its existence. It is a unique oneness, uniqueness that nothing else is similar to it in the world. If there were many gods, they would have to be made up of some sort of a physical being, and God is not a physical being. The difference between a physical body, and a gvia, and which also means a being, is guf, it refers to man, like it says in the Hayomim, gufas shol v'gufos bonov. It's the cadaver of man. Al gvia even alludes to a angel. It says gviyosu kitalshish in Daniel. And that a malach is, even though his being is holy, has no physical aspect to it, it still also has a certain makeup. So the Mefarish questions, it could be that there are many gods around, and they should not be bodies, like the intellect, which is different. They're not, doesn't have any physical aspects to it, and also souls. There are many, and they're not part of the physical body. And so angels, they don't have an actual physical body either. Yet they are each separate. So what does this prove? What the Rambam is saying, and the Peirush explains that the intent of the Rambam is, as we mentioned earlier in Halacha Aleph, that the Creator causes all of creation, that He exists because of his own existence, but not because of something else causing him to exist. And there cannot be such an aspect in creation. It has to come down from a single source. And this is philosophically understood as well. If there would be two gods, therefore one of them would have somehow interacted to create the others. And therefore that which is created is not a god, because he was created by the other, and therefore he wouldn't be called a god. Because those that are counted, which are as equals in their essence, they are only different from each other. Only with things that occur within their physical or their physical bodies or their essence. That meaning they are equal in their being. That but they have nothing to do with the other. That if one would be the cause of the other, then they're not the same. They're not equal because one is creating the other. And how are they separate from each other? And if they have different occurrences that took place, they are separate. It must be that they are separate physical bodies. With this we understand the answer, the question, the various questions of the Malachim, which are not a physical being, and there are many, but since they have different aspects to what they do, that create that happen to them, therefore they must have some sort of a essence or being, but they're not physical, but they have a certain composition and shape. If the creator would be of shape or form, there would be an end or a boundary. It's impossible for a physical being that doesn't have an end to it. Anything that has a physical end to it, so too it has to its existence a physical end. And HaKadosh Baruch Hu, blessed is He, since His strength is without end, it doesn't cease. We see the existence continues to go on continuously. His strength is not the strength that we understand as the physical strength. Therefore, occurrences that take place to physical beings does not occur to him, does not take place by him, in order that there should be differences between him and others. Therefore, he can only be a unique oneness. And since we've proven that God is not a physical being nor a strength of physical, therefore he doesn't have what takes place, occurrences or changes that happen to human beings. Therefore, his oneness is unique, and there's no uniqueness unto him. Therefore, there's only one, and this is part of the belief that Hashem is one. And knowing that it is Dovazeh, and knowing this, his mitzvahs aseh, is a commandment. Shem Hashem Elokeinu Hashem Echad. We say not only that God is our God, but that He is one. We say Shema Yisrael. Part of it is we have no understanding of that oneness. We believe that this is a oneness, that there is nothing else like it. When we say He is one, it doesn't mean He's just that there's nothing else like it, that there is no second, but that He is one in its uniqueness. Now, this mitzvah of believing in the oneness of God, which is the third after after I believe that God is my God and there shall be no other gods, is counted in Sefer HaMitzvahs according to the Rambam is the second mitzvah. There he writes that he commanded us to believe in His uniqueness. The Chazal at times call it Malchus Hashem, the kingdom of the God, and understand that He is alone in His workings. Even the Chinuch writes that the commandment of knowing that God is one, that we have to believe that because Hashem Yisborach is what causes the entire existence to exist without any partner. We say Shema Yisrael Hashem Elokeinu Hashem Echad. That's a positive commandment. Sefer HaChinuch, he brings the proof of the Rambam, and he writes, every one of the Klal Yisrael is obligated to give his life for this belief in the oneness. As we'll see in Perek Hey, who doesn't believe in this oneness is basically denying the very essence of Judaism. There's no completeness of rulership and glory unless the uniqueness is whole. So this mitzvah It includes within it the forbiddenness of avodah zarah. We are commanded to be permitted to die for it in every place and any time. And somebody who transgresses this and doesn't believe that God is alone and unique has nullified this positive commandment, and also all the rest of the Torah, because all of the mitzvahs depend on the belief that God is one, unique. And he's called a denier of the essence, of the very essence of life, and he's not part of Klal Yisrael. He's one of the apostates, and HaKadosh Baruch Hu separated him to evil. Mosdos Chinuch writes that you also transgress the negative commandment, there should not be no other gods before you, by believing that there's more than that God is not alone. The going of Yucham Pelo, in his explanation to the Rasag, to the mitzvahs of the Rasag, he goes ahead and discusses how can you consider the pasuk, the passage Shema Yisrael, as obligating the uniqueness of Hashem. The Rambam learns from this pasuk that there's a mitzvah to read Kriya Shema every day, morning and evening. How can you learn from that same passage two mitzvahs? However, if we'll look at mitzvah 10, we'll see that the Rambam learns the obligation of Kriya Shema from the words V'dibarta Bom, that you shall speak it. He does not learn it from Shema Yisrael. In Shema Yisrael, he learns only that you have to believe in the uniqueness of Hashem. Oid goes of Shema Chinuch. The Chinuch continues to write there. The root of this mitzvah is well known, because that is the basis of belief of all those who are in this world, and it is the pillar of anyone who has intelligence relies on. And the Hilchos Chinuch points out that according to the Chinuch, all those who come into the world are commanded with this regard, not only Yisrael. Because a Ben Noach, somebody who is not a Jewish person, is also obligated on avodah zarah. So the Yisrael, they have a mitzvah, like a positive commandment. The Ben Noach, his mitzvah is only that he's not allowed to deny the uniqueness of God. That he should not have another God with equivalent to HaKadosh Baruch Hu or with him.